In this lesson, you'll see how to multiply decimals using a shortcut. There are 3 steps to the process. First of all, multiply the numbers like you normally would, ignoring any decimal points. Step 2 is to count the total number of decimal places in both factors. And then finally, the 3rd step is to place the decimal point in your answer so that there are as many decimal places as found in the original problem. Let's take these one at a time. In this example, we have 1 7/10 times 1 5/10. The first step is to multiply the numbers, ignoring any decimal points. So this becomes 17 times 15. 5 times 7 is 35. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 3 is 8. Tack on a 0. 1 times 7 is 7. 1 times 1 is 1. Add the 2 together, and I get 255. The second step is to count the number of decimal places in both factors. So when I look at 1.7, I see that after the decimal point, there's only one place, and there's a 7 in it. So there's one place there. In the 1.5, I see a 5 in the 10th place. There's only one place after the decimal point there. So that's a total of 2 places that we need to take note of. The third and final step is to place the decimal point in the answer so that there are the same number of decimal places found in the original problem. And in the original problem, we said that there were 2 decimal places, one right here and one right there. So if we take our answer of 255, we need to make sure that we place the decimal point in a spot that shows that there are 2 decimal places. In other words, 2 digits to the right of the decimal point. Well, the only place to put that would be right here, where there are 2 decimal places after the decimal point. So 1.7 times 1.5 is 2.55. Here's another example where we have 3.68 times 2.4. The first step tells me to ignore the decimal points and just multiply. So 4 times 8 is 32. 4 times 6 is 24, plus 3 is 27. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 2 is 14. Tack on a 0. 2 times 8 is 16. 2 times 6 is 12, plus 1 is 13. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 more is 7. I add these partial products, and I get 8832. Now the second step tells me that I need to count the number of decimal places in the original problem. So I find my decimal point in 3.68, and I count the number of places after it. I have 2 digits there, so there's 2 places in that number. In 2.4, there's 1 place after the decimal point, so that's a total of 3 places. So now in my final answer of 8832, I need to have 3 decimal places to the right of the decimal point. 1, 2, 3. That means I need to put my decimal point right there. So 3.68 times 2.4 is 8.832. And if I look at my original problem, 3.68 is really close to 4, and 2.4 is about 2. So 4 times 2 is 8. So looking back and seeing that 8.832 is my answer to the original problem, I see that it does make sense with my estimate. And that's how you multiply decimals using the shortcut.